Welcome to Throw Some Wedge in here on a Friday evening. Got a little bit to talk about. We're going to make this a quick episode. I'm here with Huff and Nick. Boys, how we doing today? How about them dual races last night?
Very interesting to say the least.
Very interesting indeed. Nick, what you thought about the duels?
That was interesting. I thought for sure Jimmy wasn't going to get in. That did not look good there till about 10 seconds to go.
Yeah, I was definitely trying to root for JJ Yaley, but he blew it there. In my opinion, he blew it. But yeah, I mean, Toyota dominated. They were questioned about the qualifying effort, and here they are. They win both the dual races with Reddick and Christopher Bell. Anybody surprised you guys in the dual races other than, the big wreck that happened in Duel 2? Anybody stick out to you that one that finished up there that you didn't think would?
I didn't expect Toyota to win both races, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I didn't either. I thought maybe Ford.
I thought it was going to be a Ford.
Yeah, I thought Ford in the second one would have had a shot at it, but Bell made a nice move on Denny Hamlin there at the end. I still don't think Cindric should have ditched Burton. Burton would have won it, in my opinion.
I don't know why he did that.
I think the pressure's on for Cindric. He's got to win anything right now to show that he's worth it in the 2 car. But I thought Hocevar was impressive. He's finished 4th. He starts 9th in the 500. Huff, you love Hocevar.
Love him.
I knew it.
No.
42 and the 43 were surprising. Eric ran pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's a step in the right direction for Legacy.
I think that people are sleeping on that team. I hope this is a sign, but I think they're going to make some moves this year.
Yeah, we're going to see how they do after Atlanta. Atlanta and Daytona, of course, are pretty much restrictor plates now. We'll see how they do at Vegas and all the others to see if the progression's really there. Well, if you looked in practice too, they just finished practice. Denny and Jones were 1 and 2 with the best times. Toyota took the top 8 spots, and then you had like Ford and Chevy. So we'll see what happens there. But Huff, you're going to like this. They talked to Brad. Brad said he's ready for Sunday. He said, we got a fast race car.
As long as he doesn't wreck the whole field again, he should be all right.
Yeah, but if he wrecks the whole field and he's still alive, he's the only one left.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he even admitted that was a mistake. He shouldn't have done it. Blaney has every right to be ticked off.
And Blaney's not happy, yeah.
Yeah, I know Blaney. That's 3 Daytonas now in a row where he's gotten knocked off the block, and I think Blaney's taken the hardest 3 hits at Daytona the past couple of years. The night race last year, he went turn 4, cranked it there good. But the pole sitter is Joey Logano. Second is Michael McDowell. Kind of surprising that Hendrick Motorsports didn't really contend for it. think me and Nick were watching qualifying. I thought Bowman was going to be up there, and he ends up getting 16th or something.
They have more drag in their cars, I think. I think they're in race mode, kind of like Toyota is. And the only thing I'm going to say to that is, when they run race mode, they seem to draft better. So I wouldn't overlook them for Sunday. Now, if we get rain shortened, that could be another thing. But I think they came to win. I think they finally realized you can't qualify and win. I think they put their eggs on the winning side there.
I think everybody on Sunday wants to win. It doesn't matter if it's Jimmy Johnson or anyone in the back. They want to win the 500. They're in it.
I agreed, but what I'm getting at is I think that they realize that they're putting too much effort and emphasis on qualifying good, and it's hurting them.
Well, I got 2 cars in the Final Four last year. But
I think the first test for the Dark Horse went well.
I did too.
Went extremely well.
I think Joey's happy with it. Brad's happy with it. Blaney said they had a lot of speed until they got wrecked. But yeah, I think the dark horse. Stay tuned. Well, like I say, it's kind of like Legacy. We got to see what these two cars can do yet. Chevy could end up after Atlanta really take a step back. The intermediate tracks and the short tracks. But anyways, trying to make it quick here. Huff, you have your Huff history for the Daytona 500.
So, Huff history is going to be every week. I'm going to break down an old race probably from my lifetime. Won't get too far into the 70s and early 80s because I wasn't alive for most of that. So, we're going to start off our first Huff history, the 1993 Daytona 500. This is the 35th edition of the 500. It was run on Valentine's Day. And 93 is a really big year for NASCAR if you look at it. It's the first season that King Richard Petty is retired. It features one of the best rookie classes in the entire NASCAR history with Jeff Gordon, Bobby Labonte, and Kenny Wallace to become champions. Kenny never really found his stride with Cup, but it was a fan favorite throughout his career. Still is a fan favorite today. So there's a lot of firsts in this 500 and a lot of lasts in this 500. We're going to cover them all. So just a brief little rundown. 54 cars show up for the 500 to qualify. Only 41 start. Kyle Petty wins the pole in his mellow yellow Pontiac. And with that, car owner Felix Sabates offers up $1 million bonus to Kyle if he can win the 500. So Kyle has a lot to look forward to as the 500 unfolds. Dale Jarrett's going to be on the outside pole with Kyle. And then the Twin 125 winners were Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt. They start third and fourth, respectively. And before we even start with the race, I want to talk about the broadcast. This is 1993, right? Mm-hmm. So today you have all these, digital pictures, and the guys are so cartoony. Back in 1993, we just did the driver's media photo. The whole field was shown. And even, guys, in the middle of the lineups, we get these little vignettes, right? Mm-hmm. From the starting lineup that shows Ernie Irvan playing racquetball, Ricky Rudd riding a jet ski with his dog, and Jimmy Spencer on the family dirt track in a station wagon racing around. So another one before the race starts, we get an interview with Richard Petty and Ned Jarrett. They're walking along the track talking about Richard's career. You know, he's still a big name here. He's obviously still a big name, but he's, they make a lot of it because Ned is retired driver. Richard's now retired, and Kyle and Dale are on the front row with their sons. So there's a lot of fun little things there for them to talk about. So let's start with the race. Jeff Gordon's going to lead the first lap of his career as he catches the front row by surprise and leads lap one of the 500. Obviously, he's going to have a pretty good career for him in the future. It works out pretty good for him. 2 laps in, we got our first caution. Dick Trickle's going to blow a motor. 9 laps later, Jimmy Hensley's going to crash. He's driving Jimmy Means' car. Jimmy broke his shoulder in a practice crash, so he sat out the 500. And then the race kind of settles down. It's mainly Dale Earnhardt. He's going to lead 110 laps today, and we all know Dale Earnhardt's story with the 500. He tried so many years before he finally wins it a couple years later. We don't know this in 1993, but a lot is made of Dale trying and Dale, running out of gas, blowing the motor, blowing the tire in 90. He's going to crash in 92. With or 91 with Kyle Petty, I think. I'm not sure which
one of them two.
Yeah. So the race is going to settle down. We're going to log some laps here. We make pit stops early on around lap 125. Kyle Petty has to make a stop, unscheduled. The dry brake on the second gas can had failed on the previous stop, and they had not gotten the car full of fuel. He comes down. Alan Kulwicki's gas man puts gas in the car for Kyle. It was in one of those moments of camaraderie on pit road. And Kyle is saved from going a lap down because Sterling Marlin's going to spin off turn 4 and get all 4 wheels off the ground, doesn't flip over. doesn't do any damage to the car, he's going to finish the race and do surprisingly well, despite being all four wheels off the ground. He stays in it and keeps going. So 92's winner, defending champion of 500, Davey Allison's going to have a lot of issues. He's going to have to make multiple stops. They have a tire issue. The tires are out of balance, and he is pretty much non-factor in his champion or his 500 defense. Alan Kowicki's going to lose a cylinder as well. The reigning champion. As we know, we're going to lose these two guys later on this season in aviation accidents. So far too young for both guys. Obviously, Alan being the reigning champion and Davey not even in his prime to lose these two great drivers is it's still pretty sad when you think about it today. Bill Elliott has some overheating problems, and that takes him out of the race. So right there, the top three guys with chances to win the championship at Atlanta in 92 are non-factors in the 500 this year. So if somebody else step up and have an opportunity. Another first, we have Al Unser Jr., the IndyCar star. He's making his first NASCAR start. The car was actually really beautiful looking. It's sponsored by Valvoline, and it differed in color scheme. It was black and orange, totally different than what Valvoline had ever brought down before with the standard red, white, and blue cars. But we won't get to see that car run in the race because he's going to crash in the 125. He's going to run Ken Schrader's Busch Clash car in the 500. So it's just a white and green car with Valvoline logos on it. It's a pretty good day. About 40 laps to go, however, him and Dale Sr. get together. Little Al's going to hit the wall, hit the wall, and come down and collect Bobby Hillin Jr. They're going to hit each other twice going through the tri-oval. Little Al keeps his car below the track, but Bobby Hillin spins back up on the track, and Kyle Petty has nowhere to go in a crash that seemed to take forever to happen. When you think about where Kyle was compared to where Bobby Hillin was when the crash started. But anyway, Kyle can't get slowed down. He's probably only going like 30 miles an hour when he hits him, but it's enough to destroy Kyle's chances for the $1 million bonus. If you've ever seen the video, Kyle gets out of the car. He's very unhappy, and Bobby tries to plead his side, and Kyle has nothing to do with it, and he shoves Bobby's helmet away and pushes his visor down. And a couple of years ago on the Dale Jr. Download, Kyle says he's still mad at this. He says he'll be mad at this for the rest of his life because he feels that Bobby Hillin did not lock the car down, didn't try to stay, didn't avoid coming back up on the racetrack. To Bobby Hillin's defense, though, he said that the contact with Alan Jr.'s car knocked the brakes out of the car, and he was pretty much helpless. So it's really what story you want to believe. They interviewed Little Al after the accident. He said he had a blast. He would love to come back, but we'll never see Little Al again in NASCAR. This was his only race. He prefers to stay on the open wheel side. So I think that's an opportunity lost there for really having one of the big first crossover drivers come from IndyCar. That maybe, well, not even really in the last 30 years, maybe, because you had Mario and AJ come over and race. But I think that was a modern day version of those was really lost because he didn't ever come back. So. Lap 168, if you've seen this crash, Rusty Wallace gets hooked by Michael Waltrip down the backstretch and flips about 8 times. This is his first violent flip this year. He's going to have another one later on at Talladega that is equally as violent and scary. He walked away from both of them. A couple other things. This is the first season, really, that we're just going to have Chevys, Pontiacs, and Fords. This is Harry Gant shows up with Leo Jackson's car to Daytona, and it's a Chevy, and they've abandoned an Oldsmobile. Buick is also not there, with loyalist Kenny Bernstein and Bobby Allison switching over to Ford in the years prior. So this is really Oldsmobile's going to have a couple one-offs with a couple of ARCA drivers who make the show, but really this is the last time you're going to see any other car in this field until Dodge comes in 2001. So that's an interesting little caveat there. So 25 laps to go. We know how this race ends. We know the epic historical call of Ned Jarrett calling Dale home to the victory. But with 25 to go, it's basically the Dale and Dale show already. Jeff Gordon, Hut Strickland, and Jeff Bodine are all there, but they're essentially batting for third because Jarrett and Earnhardt are on a rail. However, at one point, Dale Jarrett does fall behind, goes to third, loses a lot of ground to Gordon. His car is so good in the outside lane, though, that he makes up the ground. And finally, with 2 to go, we're here. Dale Jarrett's caught Dale Sr., and you can visibly see Dale Sr. starting to get loose. And Dale Jarrett takes his run on the bottom, gets side by side with Dale. And they're going to race to the white flag side by side. Eventually, with Ned calling Dale home, he'll clear Earnhardt, come back to the line. He's going to get his first Daytona 500 victory. The first victory for Joe Gibbs Racing, which is now, they're a juggernaut in NASCAR. This is their origin story. This is their first win. They don't really have a lot of success with Dale. It's not till Bobby Labonte comes along a couple years later that Joe Gibbs really takes off and begins winning races, and then from there they branch out to Tony Stewart, and they go 3 cars, they go 4 cars, they go 5 cars, they go a million cars. They're a dynasty now. So this is the origin story for that team. This is this is great. You have Ned Jarrett, who was such an iconic figure in the broadcasting. Ken Squire lets him have the last lap to call Dale home. They interview Dale in Victory Lane, and Ned talks to him. They interview Ned's wife, Martha, who is sitting in the van in the parking lot and couldn't watch the last couple laps of the race. So this is a nice family moment for the Jarretts. I know when they go to Atlanta in 98, when Dale wins the championship, I think Ned
99.
interviews him again. 99, yeah. Ned will interview him again. He's already locked it up by then. So it's a nice moment for those family. One of the first families in NASCAR gets a nice gift on Valentine's Day. So, this year is going to be a hard year because we're going to lose Davey and Alison McLeod, like I said, but also Neil Bonnett's going to try to come back and run, and we know how he is also broadcasting his final 500. We'll lose him in a practice crash before the 94 500. So it's a sad year. But it's also a year where you look at the overall history of NASCAR, and this is a watershed moment. It's the changing of the guard with Gordon coming in, and Richard going out. So this is a good race. If you have an opportunity to go watch it on YouTube, I highly suggest it.
Good stuff, Huff. That was Huff history. Knocked it out of the park there. So now, guys, we're coming down to it. The truck races should be starting here shortly. I'm going to pull it up real quick, see if they start. Nah, we're good yet. So who do you guys have in the truck series tonight?
We'll
let Huff catch his breath. Go ahead, Nick.
Hang on a second.
I got mine. I'm going to go off the board. I'm going to go Nick Sanchez.
Nick Sanchez starts fifth. He was pole sitter last year. I like it. Nick, who do you have in mind? You still looking?
I'll take Johnny. He's got too much experience.
Johnny Satter. Yeah. I'm going to go with one that I've been really keen on, Christian Eckes. I like Christian Eckes.
That's a good pick.
He was up there last year for a little while. I think he'll be up there again tonight for this race. Who do you guys have? Now, we haven't had qualifying yet. There's still talks, and maybe they don't even have the Xfinity race until Sunday. Now the weather's back on for that. For Saturday, practice looks pretty good overall. It was kind of back and forth, kind of like how they're doing the draft and stuff, so you can't really take an idea of who's actually going to be good. For the Xfinity Series, who do you guys see winning that? Do you see Austin Hill going for 3 in a row? There's a possibility there.
He's got to be the odds-on favorite. Has to be.
He is in the sports books. He is the favorite.
Don't overlook those JR cars, though. Sam or Allgaier could sneak that sucker away from him.
Sammy Smith was second in practice. I mean, not to say anything, but because I said practice doesn't mean nothing, but he was second.
I mean, the JR cars are good down there.
Yeah. My obvious pick would be Austin Hill. My underdog would be like a Jeremy Clements. Here he is, P6 in practice.
Daytona win under his belt.
He does, yeah.
in the night race. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Another dark horse would be SVG P12.
Yeah. He actually
Solid car.
He looked pretty good today too. I'm gonna go with my favorite will be Austin Powers, Sheldon Creed, and it may not seem like a dark horse, but it's just race team wise. I'm going with Parker Klingerman.
Yeah.
He's a good plate racer too. He's won in the truck series.
I like what he does. He always finds his way up there. Even in the cup when he had a cup ride, he found his way. Who you got?
He's
Nick?
worth a couple positions. I agree. I'll take Mayer or Allgaier. Mayer. I think Mayer's going to have a good year.
Yep.
I think that Mayer has to have a breakout year. He has to supplant Allgaier as JR Motorsports' driver. He has to.
And
then who's your dark horse, Nick? Who you thinking?
Unfortunately, I got to agree with you. I want to see Klingerman do well.
Parker.
I think last year in the chase he got gypped. To see him get in with a win and not have to worry about it would be huge for that team.
All right, then till we see each other again we'll talk to each other as the weekend goes on. Who are our 3 picks and then a dark horse for the Daytona 500? I'm going to give you 3. 3 good ones. We've seen him in qualifying. We've seen him in the duels. They practiced a little bit today. Buscher wasn't there. Of course, his kid was born, so David Reagan took over the 17 until he gets back. So who do you guys have in the Daytona 500?
You're not gonna like who one of mine is because you're gonna say fight me.
Go ahead. You can have your three picks. We'll go around if we want to, like we did our little draft the other night.
All right. I'm gonna say my favorite to win is gonna be Denny
Hamlin.
Until somebody beats him. Yeah, I fully agree with that.
All right. Let's see. You took Denny. Good pick. I'm sticking to my guns. Brad Keselowski. I'm not backing down. He seems confident in his car. Whether they race Sunday or Monday, he don't care. He's ready to race. So that just shows me he's ready. He's ready to win it. This might be the most I've seen him determined in a while. Nick, who do you got?
We're going separate, right?
Yeah, go ahead. And then Huff will go in the 9 and
until somebody beats your boy, they got to pass that 22, bud. She's got a lot of steam under that hood. I don't know what they did to that car, but I haven't seen one do that in a while.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm hoping to be great with or the way 2023 ended. Huff, who do you have for your second?
Reddick.
I'm going to go.
I think Toyota with 2 more cars it's going to change the whole way Toyota makes pit stops and how they catch back up. And I think those 3 extra cars with Jimmy too. I think those 3 extra cars are going to mean a lot to Toyota tomorrow.
They can do their own deal.
Yep.
I'm going to go with Ryan Blaney. Hasn't happened since 2000 that the champion and then wins the Daytona 500 since Dale Jarrett. I think Blaney's going to break it. He's frustrated, he's mad, but he's always up there. He's in the back, but he's going to find his way up there. He did it in the duel last night. He was in the back and then got to the front. I think Ryan Blaney. That's my second pick.
Give me Bell.
Well, he didn't win the duel race.
The way that car pulled up, I haven't seen one do that in a while either. He had a run, and I don't know.
He definitely tricked Hamlin last night.
Yeah.
I don't know where. Well, you don't make Hamlin look that like wow, and to see that car do that, I haven't seen one do that in a while. For the lead.
Huff, who do you have for your third pick? And then you can pick your dark horse a while.
My third pick, I'll have to say, is going to be like Michael McDowell. Michael McDowell in a Tier 1 car, anything is possible.
Yeah, that is true. Who's your dark horse?
see a dark horse, I'll go with Harry Burton.
Yep.
Yep.
My third pick, and it's the whole no one believed me. Huff, I saw it last night, and I wanted to believe what you were saying at one point, but after what I saw last night, Chase Elliott. I think Chase gets it done.
Well, you can race 199 laps, but you got to race the last one.
Yeah.
Ask Dale about the last 100 yards. Yeah.
Really.
My dark horse, and I've been riding Corey's wagon for like a while now. But I saw some things last night, and I thought, you know what? He might be able to get it done. We haven't had a rookie winner since Cindric. Kosovar starts 9th. I'm just saying, go from
I'd like that, being that he's a Michigan guy. But
so he's going to need a lot of help. He's got to prove himself during the race because he's not the most popular guy. I mean, he's done some things that have even the Cup drivers are like, what's this kid doing? So he's going to have to really prove himself throughout the whole race to get any kind of help when push comes to shove.
Right, I agree, and he might take a step back, but yeah, it was close. It was close between him and Corey, but Carson showed, and so did Zane. Carson showed me a lot that I think he can run up there, and it's the same car that Ty drove last year, and he got that car up in the top 10.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So I mean, yeah,
I think we're going to see a marked improvement from Spire this year, regardless if they win or not.
I do too.
Yep.
I think Corey's going to be. Maybe Corey might not even be that guy. It might be Zane that gets into the playoffs somehow. Nick, who do you have as your last pick in Dark Horse?
Give me Young Money and Dark Horse. I mean, they cut it close, but Reagan's either going to finish in the back or he's going to be there.
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Yep. That
60 car will be there. I mean, he's gonna wreck it or he's gonna be up there with the other two.
Him and Brad were working with each other a lot in that duel race.
That's why I say that. I mean, I honestly think Brad having a third car, that's dangerous for everybody else.
And
he's gonna stack the deck.
Brad has been very keen on that.
That's not only a third car, but it's a proven driver. It's not a rookie.
Yep.
They're a good car now. It's not a show up in log laps car like those cars.
He expects that car to finish the top 10.
Yeah.
I mean, if they don't get the top 10 with that car Sunday, you'd almost have to say, in Brad's mind, that's a disappointment. You better wreck it.
I don't think he really wants to wreck the car.
No, what I'm saying is, if you don't finish good, what happened to that effect,
Well, I also seen, and I don't know how trustworthy the source is, but this is going to be the biggest purse almost in recent memory.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I saw that too.
$2 million this year. I saw that and I was like, I keep getting slack of like, oh, NASCAR's dead. NASCAR coming back slowly. I wish they would show the purses they used to every time back in the day. Like, they won this. They just don't show that anymore, and I don't know why. It's like, who cares? We know they're millionaires.
So what about the report that I showed you to yesterday, if that holds any water whatsoever?
So I dug into some dirt on that with Honda. Steve Phelps said they are in talks with Honda. However, it's another weight game. So
Honda put out a press release last night saying, we're looking at our options. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the same stuff we hear every year when the season starts. Honda and Dodge is somehow going to magically show up somehow by Sunday saying, oh, we're interested, and then they just go away.
So what about the other big news that after 50 years...
We need more of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, after 50 years, what if the Chevrolet rumor is true and GM goes to the Cadillac?
Well,
I gotta go somewhere.
Yeah, honestly. Oh, there's damage on Michael Mills's truck.
If Chevy gets rid of the Chevy brand in racing, that's a big game changer.
They're not going to get rid of the Chevy brand. Chevy's been there since the beginning. They're not going to go anywhere.
Well, I mean, Junior brought him back in '72. That'd be a major shakeup.
If you're saying Dale Jr., I'm going to slap you because Dale Jr. did not bring Chevrolet back.
No. I'm saying Junior Johnson.
Junior
He built the prototype.
Junior.
He built the prototype in '72 and brought him back into the sport.
Dale Jr. was just a chest.
No. I was talking the Moonshiner.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, if you seriously say Dale Earnhardt.
No. No, I'm talking about the legend.
Really, I will virtually slap you in the face. But yeah, it's I don't know what Chevrolet's going to do yet. I don't know what Honda, if they're going to get their hand in the pot. I agree with Huff. I would love to see Dodge back. Dodge had some pretty solid years. And the
thing with Dodge though, and this is what bothers me, they are not their own entity anymore. They're part of that Stellantis group.
No.
Dodge probably deep down wants to be in this. You know, there's better branding. There's a lot of energy with it. The problem is getting corporate to go for it.
All you got to do is just pitch Casey Kane. Ray Everett.
Well, unfortunately, Casey quit, so.
All right, boys. Well, there's a caution now in the truck race. And Ty Dillon's in it. Roger Cruz just got into it. Moffitt's in it. Sanchez is in it.
All right, I'm flipping that on.
Oh, balls.
Yeah. Yep, that Moffitt truck is done. And Raja tried to avoid Ty Dillon and still somehow got hit. Ty Dillon was also going like 5 miles an hour and somehow Raja hit him. But yeah, nice little wreck just happened. I think Enfinger's in it too. And Matt Crafton.
Crafton?
Yeah, Crafton's got a donut on his side.
Oh, I don't look that bad.
Well, no, it's just a donut. Oh, the 33, was that Josh Rome? But yeah, anyways, I just thought, that just came out of nowhere. Was not expecting that early. Anywho, Tony Breininger's running 9th.
I knew you were going there.
Hey, I put money on Tony Breininger. But yeah, if you guys, Huff, Nick, I don't think you can bet Michigan, can you?
Technically. They changed that.
So, there's a 13 truck. Garcia screwed. But if you go and bet MGM, they're the only ones I've seen so far, other than DraftKings, that lets you layer the truck, Xfinity, and Cup winner all in one parlay.
Okay, that's what you were talking about. Yep.
So DraftKings did it, and then when trucks went out to practice, they took it away. So as they were practicing, they were taking away who you can bet on. So if right now your best bet, I don't know if they can do it on BetMGM if you can bet on the trucks anymore. But if you do that, I did a 3-leg parlay. Like I did Eckes, Parker, and Joey to win Daytona, and it's like you put $1 down, it's like 1,000. So just an idea. But yeah, guys.
Boys.
I don't know what we're going to be doing after this, probably talking more racing. But I will talk to you guys later. This was Throw Some Wedge in, quick little show so we can get ready for Daytona 500. We appreciate you all. Have a great night.